list the order of the method that should be tried first, second, and third. So if you remember, we covered on number 28, we covered that we should do factoring first, then completing the square, and then the quadratic formula. For this problem, if you try to factor it out using the double parentheses, then the factors of 2x squared will be 2x and x. Factors of 5 are 5 and 1, and we need to end up with a negative 4. 5 and 1, that gives me 10, 11 does not work. If you place your 5 here and your 1 in here, that gives you 2, and 5 is not going to give you a negative 4. So therefore we cannot factor it. Completing the square, we do have an even number for the letter b, but we do have a leading coefficient. So in order to complete the square, we shouldn't have a leading coefficient, but in this case we do. So we cannot complete the square, so we have to use the quadratic formula. To use the quadratic formula, it will be x equals opposite b, opposite b, opposite b. So this is a negative 4, this will be a positive 4. Or plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. A is 2. Now remember that we are going to place the discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac, inside the square root. But I prefer to do it separately and just plug it in. AC. B is negative 4, A is 2, and C is 5. Negative 4 squared is 16. Multiply this out gives me a negative 8. Multiply by 5. So 16 multiply first minus 40. That will give me a 24. Keep the sign of the bigger number, so it'll be negative 24. Now remember that your first number will be positive, and since we have a negative, we are going to end up with an I. I need to simplify the square root of 24. So the square root of 24, I can simplify. I'm going to find the perfect squares, or if you want, you can do your factor tree as well. So I know that 4, well, we have a negative in there, so it'll be square root of negative 1. I also know that perfect square of 4 divides 24, and it'll be 4 times 6. Remember, you are looking for perfect squares. So in this case, I square, the square of negative 1, it's I. The square of 4 is 2, and then we still have a square root of 6. So that gives me 2i square root of 6. And I'm going to replace it. So I have x equal to 4 plus or minus. Instead of the square of negative 24 becomes a 2i square root of 6. And I'm going to separate my fraction. 2 times 2 is 4. It will be 4 divided by 4. And now I just need to be able to reduce it. So x is equal to 1 plus or minus. The 2 and the 4 will give me 1 over 2. And we have I square root of 6. And that'll be your final answer.